Welcome to Colonie TV, the governmental educational channel for the town of Colonie.
Well, welcome to Getting to Know You. My name is Joe Nash. Today we're talking to Debby Goedeke. She is from the Albany County Convention and Visitors Bureau, and she's actually the Convention Services Manager. So welcome, Deb.
Thank you, Joe.
And she's also, we'll talk about this later, the Albany County Film Commissioner. So
correct.
We'll get into that too. What we're going to be talking about today is all the events in Albany, in the city, and in the county, over the holiday season. This show is going to be on during the whole holiday into January. So you may be seeing this. Some of the events may have happened, some may not have. So we're going to talk about all these things. But before we do, we'll just start, Deb.
Yeah.
The Albany County Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what is their job, and what do you guys actually do? I mean, it sounds obvious, but why don't you explain it?
Okay, sure. Really, what our job is to put heads in the beds.
Heads in, okay.
That's what we say. We put heads in the beds. So we go out and solicit conventions, sporting tournaments, family reunions, and have them come to Albany, because a lot of that revenue, not just in sleeping rooms, but spills out to our restaurants, our entertainment district, and things of that nature.
Okay, so this is off the track, but I'm just going to mention it.
Sure.
I just heard recently on the news, we're filming this at the end of November. Did you guys try to get the NCAA tournament?
Well, we worked with the Times Union Center on that.
Okay.
And that, yes, my director of
Something
sales,
like that is the things you do.
definitely.
Yes. Okay.
That's definitely
Because
correct.
I used to go to the first round all the time. It was always fun, but
It is.
Maybe in the future.
The sporting tournaments are great, and there's some great sporting tournaments that are coming up at the Times Union
Okay.
Center.
You still have the Frozen Four and...
We don't have the hockey right now.
Okay.
But that's not to say we won't get
All right,
that.
so we're getting way ahead of ourselves here. So the main thing we're going to talk about is what events going on
Sure.
over the holiday season, December and January, and into February and March. The first thing we'll talk about is back. It's been going on for many, many years. The Empire State Ice Rink is now open. Anything you want to say about that?
Yes, well, it's terrific because it's a great family event that everybody can go to. So it's open 24/7. I think it's open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. It's right down at the Empire State Plaza. It's free skating. There's no charge for it. And then on Fridays, it's free skate rentals.
Okay.
So it really is a very minimal cost to go down there and skate right around by the Capitol and the Empire State Plaza.
So it is free skating, but you have to pay if you want to rent. But I see it's pretty cheap. It's like $3.
Oh, it's a minimal cost for a great day.
All right. Well, I've skated there many times, and I also see that on certain Saturdays of the month, let's see, what was it? I had it written down here. The first Saturdays of every month, you are going to have ice skating, learn to skate clinics.
That's exactly right. That's
the
exactly
Mohawk
right.
Hudson figure skating group?
Yes, they will be on hand for those folks that want to give it a try but may be a little embarrassed. They will actually be there right on hand to give instruction to folks, children, adults that want to learn how to skate.
One other quick thing, I see there's 3 levels, beginning, intermediate, and so you can learn from the pros, I guess you could say.
That's exactly right.
And now the next thing that's going on, which has already started as we're filming this, today is November, 28th or 29th?
28th.
But it's already started. It goes through until January 4th, and that is the Holiday Lights in Washington Park. This is the 16th annual, and there's a lot to say about this. I want you.
Oh, it is. Well, first of all, it's a great fundraiser for the Police Athletic League. Lenny Rasciuto and his whole team really does a stellar job in putting that all together there through the park. So that's another great family event. Plus, they have the Washington Park where the Playhouse normally is. That building is open, and they serve cocoa and food in there. So it's just, it's again another great family event for folks to come to.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I didn't know, when you don't just drive through, when it's over, you can stop at the lake house, and there's all kinds of stuff going on. I mean, like you say, you can buy.
You can buy cocoa. There's some vendors in there, so you can really make it a family
And
night.
if you go to the website, it'll be on the screen here. I notice also that, I don't know if it's every single night, but maybe it's weekends, each certain area radio stations are hosting a certain night. Are they going to be playing music down there?
Yes, they usually do. I think they have the channels. As you pay
Yeah.
your money and go in, they'll tell you what channel to turn your radio
Oh,
to.
okay. I thought it meant they're going to be down like no, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
They
so-
could be on site. I
Okay.
haven't seen that yet,
All right.
but I know that they usually tell you to tune
Oh,
your
okay.
radio to a
that.
certain,
Okay, and then
to
when
a
you're
certain
driving,
channel.
then when you're driving
Yeah,
through,
they have
okay.
the music or they're narrating. Yes.
Now here's something. I don't know if they've always done this every year, but this would interest me actually. You're going to have certain nights where you can walk through. Walk-only nights. What can you say about?
Yeah, I'm not really sure on all of the information with regard to that, but I do know that there are certain designated nights that you will be able to walk through. That's one of the popularity of that last run that they have that the city puts on
Okay.
that goes through Washington Park, is that you're able to run through the park
right,
as well.
so-
So that is a cool factor.
All right. So when we do get to the run thing later, but it does go through the park.
Oh
with the
yeah,
light- okay.
yeah,
I
it'll
didn't-
go through all of the lights in the park.
All right, I did not know that. But the walkthrough sounds like that would be fun, walking through and seeing everything.
It would be.
Instead of being in the car.
As long as the weather's okay.
Yes. All right, that'll be on the website too.
Yes.
And it's also, I guess I should say, it's $15 per car if you want to go through that.
A
But it's-
great fundraiser
it is a
that
good fun,
goes to a
yes.
great cause.
Do you know how much money they raise every year?
I don't.
I know, it's probably a lot though. All right, so now we have some other items. Oh wait, and this is going on until December 22nd. There's a play down at Cap Rep. It's called This Wonderful Life. I think it's a one person.
It's a one-man
Yeah,
show.
of
It's a
the movie.
one-man
That's
show
right.
of the movie, and from what I understand, he does a fantastic job.
He
down
plays
there.
all the characters.
Yes, he does. And
Okay.
I don't know if anybody's ever been to Cap Rep, but that is a great facility
Yes.
and a great place to see a show. Plenty of parking around there, plenty of restaurants. You can go down, take in dinner, and then go see
Yes,
the
I've
show.
been there many times. Is that something you highlight when you try to bring in groups for the convention?
Absolutely. What we try to do is once they give us their dates,
Yeah.
we try to match up those services or those events that would be going on that those
Yeah.
folks would be interested in seeing.
Oh, okay. So that's another.
Yeah, we
okay.
want to utilize all the
Yeah.
Albany
Okay.
resources.
Now, when you say Albany for the convention,
Mm-hmm.
do you encompass just the city boundaries, or do you take up a wider?
Really, what we want to do is when I have a convention that's in town for 3 or 4 days, I want to encompass the capital
Okay.
region. There's only so many things you can see in Albany. So, you want to go to see the National Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. That's a great attraction.
okay.
Or the Fenimore Art Museum. Or to head north and take a paddle boat ride up on Lake George.
Okay.
Or head south to go to some of the wineries in the Hudson
All right.
Valley. So
you're
am I selling this good, Joe?
Well, you're encompassing a lot more than
Exactly.
that. Okay. You don't provide. Do you provide transportation to all these things?
We don't, but we
Okay.
work with our clients in rolling that into
Yeah.
perhaps the cost of the registration.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I know Saratoga is probably a popular in the summer. Do you have conventions in the summer ever?
Oh, yeah, we have
Okay.
conventions in the summer, yes.
Okay. Now, the next several events are taking place in early or mid-December, so you may or may not, if you're watching this, it may have already passed, but we'll talk about it anyway. If you're watching it before, you still have time to go. So let's see, Thursday, December 13th is, and these guys come every year. It's usually closer to Christmas though, but the Trans-Siberian Orchestra is coming again?
Yes, that's a big favorite and a big sellout show at the Times Union Center.
Okay, that's Thursday, December 13th. Now, are they doing 2 shows that day, or do you know? Or
I think right now it's billed as 1, but I know sometimes if it's
Okay.
really popular, they do make it 2.
Okay, now here's another one. I think it's a yearly event. Is Wednesday, December 19th, Disney on Ice at the Times Union Center.
Yes.
Is that their
Another
a new
family
show
favorite.
every year?
Yes, it's. I think it's Rocking Ever or something along those lines. That'll be their multiple evenings.
Oh, it's not
multiple
just
days.
It's the
The
9th.
The Disney one will be there multiple
Oh, 19th
days.
through.
Yeah.
I don't have it here, but
Yeah.
it's probably 19th through something. All right.
Through the 22nd or
People can look it up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in your work here with the Convention and Visitors Bureau, do you
Yes.
work? How closely do you work with the Times Union?
We work
Center.
Yeah, we work very closely with the Times Union Center.
Okay.
A couple of different things. First of all, they give group discounts.
Okay.
So if there's a convention that's looking to do an off-site event and they have a free night and there's an event going on at the Times Union Center, we work with them in garnering that group discount so that the group can go. We do that also with the Palace, Cap Rep, any
Okay.
of those downtown venues.
Excellent. I know before we started, I heard you talking to someone here in the room that you work about 80 hours a week, so it sounds like you're pretty.
No, I don't have to work 80 hours
Okay.
a week anymore since
But
I
it sounds
came to
like
the,
you're pretty busy here.
We are very busy.
Okay.
We are a small staff there, but we're mighty in everything that we
Okay.
do.
Now, the next event is from December 14th through 16th down at Proctor's. And this is a chorus line, the famous play.
Yes.
Is that?
Yes, that's another big favorite of people that always comes around the holidays
Okay.
that really brings in a good crowd.
Okay. Now, this is a little bit off the topic, but
Mm-hmm.
I know the Proctor's in Schenectady gets a lot of the Broadway shows on tour. Has Proctor's in Albany ever tried to get some of
Mm-hmm. You mean the
those?
Palace?
Or the Palace, I mean. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the Palace, I'm not sure that, I know they do a lot of stand-up there.
Yeah.
Comedians
Okay, yeah.
and some bands. I'm not sure with the facilities, if the facilities would be able to
Oh, okay,
accommodate something like that.
Well, this has a chorus line to Proctor's. Mm-hmm. All right. This is the one that's connected.
It's in Proctor's and
All right.
Schenectady.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. I was mixed up. I
You were
mixed
thinking
up
about the
Palace.
Palace.
Yes. All right. Now, Friday, December 14th, this is at the Palace. All this is on the website. It'll be on the screen. So Martina McBride is coming.
Yes.
She's a very famous country singer.
Yes, yes, and she does a whole Christmas show there.
Oh, okay.
So it won't be just her country western songs, it'll also be Christmas music too. So again, another very popular
All right.
show. There's so many things going on for people
Yeah.
to choose from. It really is nice.
And we have an event here on Saturday the 16th, the 5K run, which part of it goes through the lights in the park. But
Yes.
What, are you saying, why don't you talk about this a little bit?
Sure.
Because you think people can still go to this, but you're saying the running
The
slots are-
run itself is sold out.
right, and this is
it's
only-
already been sold out for about 3 weeks. It is
Okay.
extremely popular, and I think part of the popularity, because I'm also a runner, is that you get to run through the
Okay.
lights in the park.
All right, and but people can still go down.
Oh,
and live on the
definitely. They're going to
streets.
have fireworks. The
All
mayor will
right.
kick it off. The
Okay.
tree will be lit up. It'll be a fun night.
And where is that?
It's
gonna be?
actually, it'll be at the bottom of State Street, where the Capitol is. The start is at right by the bottom of State Street and the State Capitol.
All right, is that where the Freihofer starts, or on the other side?
No, the Freihofer starts on
Oh,
Madison.
okay, so you're on the other side.
Yes.
And it goes up through the park?
You immediately start
right.
out on a nice
Yeah,
hill.
okay. All right, that's good. And then where are the fireworks? Back.
The fireworks are actually, they do the fireworks before the event.
All right.
So they do them right while the runners are waiting to run.
Okay. And what time is this run?
5 o'clock. But I
All
think
right.
the fireworks are around 10 to 5.
All right, because I was talking to you before. This years and years ago, they used to have a New Year's Eve run, but it was, I think it was like 11:30 at night, wasn't it? I don't know if you remember.
This is kind of taken its place again to make it more of a family event and
Okay.
more appealing.
All right, so are there any, now before we talk about some other things.
Sure.
Have I missed any of the holiday season events other than?
I think for the most part we've covered some of I tried to put the favorites, the people
Okay.
that the things that people really enjoy going to, and mix it up between the different venues.
Okay. Well, I guess I should ask, how long have you been down at the convention?
I actually have started my 8th year there.
Okay. Now, when you first started, was Albany still involved with first night? Is that?
You mean the run itself?
No,
or-
the first night events for New Year's Eve.
Yes,
Okay.
and really that is the City of Albany Special Events
Oh,
Office.
okay. Because I know they've discontinued that.
Yes,
but, okay.
yes. Not sure why, but it probably has to do with budgetary constraints. It costs a lot of money to put all of those on.
Okay.
And so I think they've scaled back a little bit for right now,
Yeah.
but certainly could bring it back in the future.
All right. Now, we're going to talk about some events now that if you're watching this in January and February, December, these are going to be events upcoming in 2013, and some of these look very interesting. We got some sort of famous people coming, I guess you could say. The first one is you're having a conference of mystery writers.
Yes,
and
2,000 mystery writers.
But how is this pronounced?
It's BoucherCon.
Is that named after Anthony Boucher? Do you know the famous?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
sure it has something to do with that. Yes.
Right. Now this is over 2,000 mystery writers are coming.
Yes,
Okay.
they're going to be coming to Albany. And actually what we did is it was just held in Cleveland. So one of the things that we do at the Convention Bureau is we will actually go out to the destination the year before to promote Albany in 2013. So we went out there and promoted all of the people coming to Albany.
Okay, that's one of my questions. How is it that you get some of these national groups to come?
Well, a lot of them, they come in as leads to our office.
Right, okay.
So our director of sales takes them and runs with them, and she does a great job.
So you guys went out to Cleveland and...
Gathered up the troops,
And-
got everybody excited about coming to Albany.
Okay. Now I'm seeing on here, two of the special guests are very famous mystery writers. One is Sue Grafton. Who, her mysteries involve the alphabet. A is for alibi, B is for burglar. I think she's up to, I think her latest book was V, I think. So she's almost
Yep.
she's been writing these books for 20-something years.
Yep.
And also P.C. Doherty he's also a very famous mystery writer. So when is the date of that?
That will be the second or third week of September.
So this isn't until 2013. but people
2013.
can plan. Will some of these events, like if people want to see Sue Grafton, will they be open to the public?
That's a good question. I don't know if they will be or not. They could have day passes.
Okay.
It would be up to the local organizing committee.
But the rest is just the mystery writers have their own little events. Okay. Now, another event that's coming up involves writing and writers is called Fanticon, which is going to
Right.
be in September.
Yes.
And this involves, well, tell us about this one because you're having something where it sounds pretty good.
This is very, very, this is, not that BoucherCon isn't fun, but this is a very fun convention to work on.
This is a convention of comic book, horror, and fantasy fans.
That's correct. That's correct. And, well, first off, how popular this is. Tom Scullin, who's overseeing this, has 22,000 hits already on his website that he built for Fanticon. And he is bringing in many, many former horror and fictional characters in horror films. But one of the things they're doing is Night of the Living Dead.
Yes.
He's bringing in the original actors to be part of the show. He's bringing in several of the Jasons.
Oh, from all the Jason, whatever.
Friday the 13th
yes.
and part 1, 2, 3,
All
4. So Tom has gathered up all these resources and bringing all these folks in. And it's not solidified yet, but we're actually working with the Palace Theater on the possibility of doing something with these folks while they're in town.
While they're having their convention.
Exactly.
But Fanticon is something that would be open to the public because it's
Yes,
all,
it would.
obviously
He's going to
it's for
have
fans.
over 300 tables, exhibitors as well, and it'll be at the Albany Marriott.
At the Marriott, okay.
Yes, at the Albany Marriott,
Now,
Wolf Road.
and speaking of the Friday the 13th movies, this convention actually starts on Friday the 13th in
Yes,
September.
it does. Yes, it does.
Excellent. So,
Well, just so you know, the original showing of the Night of the Living Dead was shown at the Palace Theater 45 years ago.
really, I mean, okay.
The original film
All right.
itself. So there is a tie with
Yeah.
Albany.
Now, when you have all these conventions, What are some of the places they use besides the Marriott? Is it always the Marriott or sometimes
No,
Empire State
it's-
Plaza? Or?
It depends on the amount of people that come.
Okay.
We have, we call them the top 4 hotels, which are the Albany Marriott, the Desmond Hotel and Conference Center, the Holiday Inn Elm Wolf, and then the Hotel Albany, which will soon be the Hilton Albany.
Okay.
But they are our biggest hotels that can house our biggest conventions. And then the Empire State Plaza, of course, their meeting space and their convention center can hold certainly a lot more people than the hotels can. So a lot of times we'll get a statewide convention or even a national convention. And BoucherCon's a perfect example. They're doing many events at the Empire State Plaza, but we're utilizing many of the downtown hotels.
Okay. Oh, that's-
So that would be the beauty of getting a convention center here in Albany.
Okay, I
Joe.
know there's talk of that. I don't want to.
I got to give that plug or I wouldn't
Well,
be doing my job.
It's still in the stages of possibility.
It is.
Isn't it?
It absolutely is.
Okay.
And we certainly haven't written it off. And, you know, this is the way we look at the Convention Bureau. We're open for business no matter what.
Are there any things, before we talk about some of these other ones,
Mm-hmm.
anything that you're pursuing that you can speak about? Or what are the kinds of things you pursue, the kinds of groups?
Well, I mean, right now, regional and statewide meetings are what we can host the best
Oh, okay.
because of not having a convention center.
Like a New York State group of
Yes,
whatever?
an
Okay.
association
Okay.
or a regional meeting
Mm-hmm.
that would be like the Northeast region. But that's certainly, we get many leads in that are national conventions. Again, BoucherCon's a good example of that. A lot of times, folks that belong to associations, such as BoucherCon or even another association, they partner to bring their meeting to Albany, and then we assist them with that.
All right. Now, here's an event that, even though it doesn't start till next September 2013, like these other ones, they've already started doing some publicity. We've had some programs here at the library on it already, and this is going to be a big thing next year. I don't know, maybe you can tell me how much you guys are involved, but the Albany Institute
Yes.
is bringing the mummies back.
The unveiling
And
of the
that
Albany
sounds like it's going to
mummies.
be a big
It's
big
going to be a
thing.
big deal. Well, here's what's very cool about that, and it adds a different element to it. Those mummies were brought over to Albany Med, and they had MRIs so that they could
That's what I
find
said.
out
Okay.
all the different information about them, and they made a movie while they were doing that.
Okay. And has it?
So no, we're actually University at Albany was involved with
okay.
that, and our part of that is working with UAlbany and the film department in helping to promote that.
Oh, okay.
And then the exhibit itself will open in September of 2013, and there's many Egyptian artifacts that are going to be part of that exhibit that were, from what I understand, are being brought in on loan.
And now this is the original. These mummies,
Yes.
were first in Albany in 1909.
That's correct.
And some of the groups involved with Albany Institute, just to let people know what's going to be going on next year, there's also going to be some artifacts, I think. This involves the British Museum, American Natural History Museum, the Semitic Museum, the Brooklyn Museum, a museum in Vienna, which I can't pronounce the word here, Metropolitan Museum of Art, the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston, the Michael C. Carlos Museum of Emory University, and the Morgan Library Museum, and several private collections are all going to be working with the Institute on this. So this is going to be a big
It's going to be a
do.
really big deal, and it's going to bring, I think, it's going to bring a lot of business to Albany because of it. You know, we also do tour groups and family reunions, and a lot of those tour groups, they come on motor coaches and they look for destinations where they can do different and unique things. So I think this is going to be a big draw, and I sure hope that everybody that lives here has a chance to go to the Institute and see that.
Well, I know you said, that should be good. Oh, I'm sorry. I know I was going to say, they've already been to our library doing a little presentation.
exactly right.
Getting people interested. When you talk about family reunions as in the sense of having people come to an
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah. Well, again, there could be a family, a large contingency of a family of somebody named Walker that's in Schenectady, Albany, and Troy. And so what they do is decide to do a family reunion right here in the capital region, and then they bring in the Walkers from all over the United States.
Okay, so it's not. I'm thinking it's not an individual family. It's something with a common last name that might.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly. We do. That's again. There's a meeting or a reunion for everything.
I know. That's true. Well, that's all the events going on during the holiday season and into next year. And the Albany County Convention and Visitors Bureau has a website. All the stuff will be on there. But before we finish, your other title is the Albany Film Commissioner.
Yes, it sounds so official.
I know. Tell us about what this involves and what you do.
Sure. Really, I like to say I'm the Albany help button, not just as a convention services manager, but also as a film representative for Albany County. And what I am is really, I find the resource that matches up what the film's needs are. And we'll just use Salt as an example that was here filmed in Albany. They actually approached me or the Convention Bureau, the Film Commission, about 7 months prior to them coming. And so they had laid out everything that they wanted to do, the chase scene on 787, the arterial, all of that. So what I do really, Joe, is I match them up with the Department of Transportation, the Albany PD, traffic engineering. I bring those entities together so we all meet in a room and we can get it we can get it done.
Well, how did they contact you? I mean, what made the people making that movie say, "Well, let's go to Albany"?
Okay.
How do you?
Sure, I can tell you exactly how. We first off, we work very closely with the Governor's Film Office of Motion Picture and Television Development. So what they wanted to do, because they were filming in New York City, they weren't getting a lot of cooperation there.
With New York City.
Exactly. So they recommended that they reach out to Albany and see if it's something that we could get done. Now, what's been so great about Albany is that Salt came, the other guys came, HBO just did a scene from a movie here, and we are really getting a reputation of being able to get the job done.
Now, what is it they mainly are looking for? Old buildings, or
well,
it could be anything.
It's a mix of anything. They took North Pearl Street when they did the other guys, and they turned it into a Manhattan Street.
Okay.
So really, the movies can do anything.
Okay.
Another added benefit to that I like to think about this also with the Film Commission is it provides jobs.
Yeah.
There's a big contingency of actors and crew people and casting companies here locally that people don't even know about, and it puts those people to work.
Well, I know whenever movies film here, they do hire a lot of local people
as
to
they
be in the
should,
background.
as they should.
Now, I think, I don't know, were you here was this part of your job when they filmed The Time Machine here?
I was not. You know, it's interesting. When I first went to work at the Convention Bureau 8 years ago, they said to me, you know, Debbie, you may get a couple calls a month about a commercial or something like that. I want to tell you, in the last 4 or 5 days, I've probably gotten 10 calls.
Really? People who are feeling you out
for... People are looking for locations, specific crew needs, a lighting person. They're here to do a commercial. They're here to film a bank commercial, all different kinds
Now, are they from New York or Los Angeles or everywhere?
I get a lot of calls from LA, California.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
So we're getting our name out
We're
there.
nationwide.
Now, is there something coming up that you can or can't talk about?
Well, I can talk a little bit
about a movie that might be filmed.
I actually am working with a major motion picture company right now. They're looking at an abandoned building. They sent me the specs of what they want. I have no idea what the movie is. They keep everything very hush-hush. I know they have a good-sized budget, which says to me they're serious about doing it. So the pictures that I sent them, they liked them very, very much. I got a call yesterday, could I send more? So we've sent more pictures to them. And with the film industry, it's hurry up and wait.
Okay, very good. Well, it sounds like the Albany County Convention and Visitors Bureau and the film office is very busy.
We surely are.
Well, Deb, thanks for coming, and we will hopefully, maybe we can have you again to talk about some of these other events, or talk about this film thing. It's very interesting.
It would be my pleasure, Joe.
So that's on the website, all these holiday events and the stuff we talked about going into next year, these conventions, and also the film office. Look, I guess there'll be some movies being filmed here, and it's always fun to go to them and say, oh, there's
That's exactly
like
right.
Everyone I know that went to SALT was saying, that's where
Oh, we were all cheering in the movies.
Very good. Well, thanks, Deb, for being here, and we will see you next time on Getting to Know You.